Good morning. I am Dibyendu Mondal. Today I am discussing about a PN junction. PN junction. Okay. PN junction. First one, if you draw the energy band of an abrupt junction before diffusion. If you draw energy band, okay, first one, okay, well, this is the conduction band P and N. This is the P and N. Conduction band. Okay, conduction band. Another one, okay, another one is the valence bond. Valence, okay, valence band. This one, there are four hole, here one. Okay, this is the energy band of an abrupt junction. Energy band of an abrupt, okay, energy band of an abrupt junction before diffusion. Okay, before diffusion. Energy band of an abrupt junction before diffusion. Okay, where the material changes suddenly from P to N before the diffusion process. The P bands are slightly higher than the N bands because P-type atoms have slightly larger orbit than that of N-type atoms. The reason is that a pentavalent atom with a core charge of +5 attracts the electron more than trivalent atom with a core charge of +3 does. Okay. An abrupt junction is an idealization because the P side cannot suddenly end where the N side begins. In more realistic PN junction, there is a gradual change from one type of material to another. Such a junction is called graded junction. Okay. When the junction between P and N type material is formed, the carriers means free electron. Okay, carriers means free electron. Okay, carrier means the free electron can be transferred. Okay, PN junction diffuse where the carriers means free electron and holes diffuse from a higher concentration site to a lower concentration site. Soon after crossing the junction, these carriers recombine with the other type of carriers found in majority on the other side. We see that the holes which neutralized the acceptor ions near the junction in the PN site disappears as a result of recombination with free electron. Okay, means if you draw the charge density electric field, okay, charge density if you draw the diagram looks like this one. Okay, if you draw another one diagram for P, okay, the diagram, this one is the depletion region. Okay, this one is the depletion region. Depletion region. Okay, distance from the junction x n site. Okay, another one, this one is the P site. Okay, another one is the field intensity, that is the charge density. Another one is the field intensity. Field intensity. Okay, field intensity, that is the x. Okay, field intensity. Another one is the potential barrier for holes. Potential barriers. Barriers of holes. Okay, the unneutralized ion, also known as the uncovered changes in the neighborhood of the junction, result in a charge density. Since this region is deflected on mobile charges, it is called depletion region. Okay, this one, another one is the before diffusion and after diffusion. If you draw the diagram before diffusion and after diffusion, this one is the conduction band. Okay, conduction band. Another one, this one is the energy. Okay, another one, this one, if you draw, okay, this one is the energy gap, Eg. Okay, and another one is the valence band. Okay, so this is the before diffusion. And after diffusion, that is after depletion layer is formed, the energy okay, conduction band, if you draw the line, okay, that is the P. this one hole, this one, this is the conduction band, and another one is the, this one is the valence band. Valence band. Valence band. Okay, that is the after diffusion. Okay, after diffusion. Okay, valence bond. That is the energy level in a graded junction before and after depletion layer. Okay, before and after depletion layer is formed. Okay, so generation of electron, that is the first one is the energy band for a graded junction before and after formation of a depletion layer. Now our next topic is the generation of electron hole pair by photon absorption. Okay, generation of electron hole pair generation of electron hole pair generation of electron hole pair by photon absorption. Okay, generation of electron hole pair by photon absorption. The energy available in a photon is given by E is equal to h nu hc by lambda. E is equal to h nu hc by lambda, where h Planck's constant. Planck's constant. H is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. Okay. C is the speed of light. Three into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Nu is the frequency of photon in hertz. Lambda is the wavelength. Okay. Nu is the frequency of photon. In hertz. Okay, frequency of photon in hertz. Another one, lambda is the wavelength of photons in meter. Wavelength. Okay, lambda is the wavelength. Okay, the first one, lambda is the wavelength of photon. Expressing lambda in micrometer, the energy EV, 1 EV is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power 19 joules. 1 electron volt. Okay, 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. Okay, 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. E is equal to 1.24 by lambda. E is equal to 1.24 by lambda. Okay. The energy in a photon must exceed the semiconductor band gap energy Eg in order to get absorbed and generate an electron hole pair. For energies less than the band gap energy, no absorption takes place. The material appears transparent to these low energy photons. If a photon has energy much greater than the band gap, it still produces a single electron hole pair. Okay. The semiconductor used for photon absorption have band gap energy such that the maximum percentage of solar spectrum is efficiently absorbed. Maximum theoretical efficiency of around 31%. Theoretical energy. Okay, maximum theoretical efficiency 31%. Maximum theoretical efficiency. Okay. Sorry. And another one, 31%. The nature of the band gap also affect the efficiency of absorption in the material. Okay. Absorption in the material. The allowed energy level of a particle in valence or conduction band also depends on the momentum of the particle in these bands. Okay, direct or indirect band gaps for silicon. If you draw the diagram, for silicon, if you draw the diagram, okay, this one is the valence band. Okay, this one is the valence band. Okay, this one is the conduction band. This one is the conduction band. Okay. Okay, E 1.1 electron volt. Okay, 1.1 eV. Indirect band gap. Okay, indirect band gap, and that is the momentum. Okay, that is the momentum. Okay, for silicon, direct and indirect band gap, the nature of the band gap also affect the efficiency of absorption in a material. The allowed energy level of a particle in valence or conduction band also depends on the momentum of the particle. The shape of these bands for SI and GAs, considering energy as well as momentum. Okay. For silicon, the bottom of the conduction band is displaced in the momentum direction from the peak of a valence band. Such a material are known as indirect band gap material. In the direct band gap material such as gallium, arsenic, these bands are not displaced in the direction of the momentum. For GAAs, the conduction band, for GAAs, this one is the valence band. This one is the valence band. Okay, this one is the valence band, and this one is the 1.43 eV direct band gap. 1.43 eV. Okay, 1.43 eV direct band gap. Direct band gap. And another one is the conduction band. Conduction band. Okay, that is the E. Okay, direct band gap, and another, this one is the momentum. Okay, so that is the for GAAS. Okay. This is the generation of electron hole pair by photon absorption. Okay. One numerical, very short numerical, calculate the optimum wavelength of light for photovoltaic generation in a CDS cell. The band where the band gap is 2.42 eV. Okay, 2.42 eV. So band gap is given 2.42 eV. Band gap is given E 2.42 eV. Okay, so we know the formula. E is equal to 1.24 by lambda, 24 by lambda EV. Okay, so that is lambda is equal to, implies lambda is equal to 1.24 by 2.42 mu m equal to, after calculation you will get 0.512 micrometer. Now our another topic is photoconduction. Okay, photoconduction. Photoconduction. Once an electron hole pair is generated within the junction depletion layer, both carriers will be acted upon by the built-in electron field. Since the field is directed from N to P. Okay, field is directed to N to P side, it will cause the holes to be swept quickly towards the N side. Once out of the junction region, these carriers become a part of the majority carriers in the respective regions and diffuse away from the junction region as their concentration near the junction has increased. This addition of excess majority charge carriers on each side of the junction result in a voltage across external terminals of the junction. If an electron hole pair is generated near the junction, then depending on how far it is from the junction, it may or may not contribute to the photocurrent. If the generated hole, which is minority carrier in the N region, manages to reach the junction before it gets recombined, it will be swept across the junction of the P side. Okay, thus the minority carriers generated outside the junction, minority carrier outside the junction, minority carrier outside the junction region due to optically generated electron hole pair must reach the junction in a time less than the respective minority carrier lifetime to be able to contribute in the photocurrent. Okay, so this one is the photoconduction. Okay, photoconduction. Okay, today's discussion up to photoconduction. Okay, thank you.